What's up, everybody? It's Johnny, and this is the real reason why women are attracted to men with money. So real quick, my name is Johnny Zemsky. I'm the founder of Lion's Tail Personal Transformation Coaching. I've been a personal transformation coach for a few years now and also an international dating coach for the same time. And so I've actually lived through this experience and I've taught several men, I want to say hundreds of men, but I don't know if it's 100 yet, on this actual topic and change their view of ladies, their self-worth, and who they can actually get. So if that sounds like your kind of content, hit like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the videos. All right, let's get into it. So you probably have heard a few different things, and the big thing is, we all know this, right? Like, let's be real. I used to say, this isn't actually true. I don't want a woman who goes after guys with money. I want a woman with a real heart and all that kind of stuff. And let's be honest. If a woman saw two men walking down the street, the exact same guys, two of me, boom, split side to side. One has money, one doesn't. She's going after the one with money. I mean, who wouldn't? I personally would choose a life with money over a life without if it's the exact same thing. So let's be real. Women are attracted to men with money. The reasons, though, is where it gets very interesting. So let's start with the obvious ones, right? First things first, materialistic side. There's comfort, right? It's like if she's with a guy with money, she can have a bigger ring. Flowers are bigger. They're not from Safeway anymore. You know, they're from some boutique place that gets delivered to her door. She gets to go to nicer places, bigger vacations, cooler car, bigger house, everything. You know, life is pampered, life is easier. You know, that obviously materialistic side, that's a plus. It's a plus, right? And so there's a lot of pampering to that, and from a materialistic basic side, they just get bigger and better things. Guys with money can provide that. Guys without money have a harder time. So there's that. If you go to a deeper level, then it represents safety and security. So you might have heard this, especially if you've done some research, you've dived into it a little bit more, your circle is more expanded and conscious, and you have conversations like this all the time. And if you don't, get one, get a better circle. But safety and security, money represents this a ton for ladies, right? So big thing is ladies are concerned with the survival of themselves and of their babies. Like, it's a real thing, right? And so a man with money represents someone where their kids don't have to figure out where their next meal is coming from. And that's it. They're going to be clothed, they're going to be warm, they're going to be safe, they're going to be fed, and they don't have to struggle and figure out where their next meal is coming from. So on a basic level, safety and security, money represents a lot of safety and security for women. And that's a really root thing. You gotta understand that's ingrained in the subconscious primal instinct of ladies, whether they like it or not, it's in there. And so if you think money doesn't matter, it matters. Like, you can still be a super genuine, hardworking guy with a big, massive heart, and that's amazing, but you also gotta provide for your family. So it's a real thing. My fiance actually tells me this beautiful story about eagles. And there are some kind of eagles, maybe it's bald eagles, maybe it's different kind of eagles. But the female eagle will take a stick and throw it off the top of a tree. And her male suitors will go down and pick up the stick over and over before it hits the ground. And it makes me laugh. I always think, like, sounds just like a woman, always testing, right? But these tests are there for a reason. So she throws the stick because it represents her babies. It represents her babies falling out of the tree, out of the nest, and she's testing to see if the man is strong enough to go get the babies over and over and over again. And she chooses the mate that can do that the most time. And so that's great for a fitness side, or big muscly guy can fight, take care of himself, protect the people around him. That's true, but it's also, in our modern society, money represents the same thing. Like, she's concerned with the survival of her babies. Can you do that? Can you take care of her? Can you take care of her on a financial side? Because it matters. Where you're getting your meal from next matters. So there's a lot of that side about safety and security. Money matters to women for that reason, which is massive, right? But there's another reason as well. And this one actually took me a long time to understand, and I didn't get it until I really dove into the psychology of money and abundance mindset. Women are attracted to men with more money because money represents energy. So money is just energy. It's just a form of energy. And a man who can handle more money can handle a higher quality of woman. And that's all it is. So I can speak from personal experience here a lot, and also from experience of lots of different men I know in different men's circles all over the world. that your net worth is tied to your self-worth. So you will only ever earn and keep what you think you're worthy of. This is so impactful. I hope that sinks in. You can only keep and earn what you think you're worthy of. You will get rid of the rest subconsciously. So this was a massive learning for me, and I went through this process. For me, I had incredibly low self-worth my entire life until I was 41 years old. I didn't think I was worth anything, and so I would shed all of my money. And people really loved it because I was very generous, and I really loved that about myself. I love being generous, but I would do it to a point to where I had no money left because subconsciously, I didn't think I was actually worthy of that money, which is crazy. And I've heard this story over and over and over again. A friend of mine just told me he went from earning 60 grand a year to 200 grand a year when he got into sales, and he blew all of it. He blew all of it, and he couldn't remember what he blew it on, and he did it because he didn't have the self-worth to actually keep it. He didn't believe he was worthy of that money. He didn't earn it. He wasn't good enough to keep it, and so he subconsciously shed it. And I had another friend from Australia who told me the same thing. He's been on a pension, like actively retired for 10 years, and he said the sum of money that he's wasted without any idea where it went is ridiculous. Over $1 million because his self-worth wasn't aligned with having that money. And this is a real thing. Your self-worth tells you how much you can earn because it's how much energy you can manage. So if you think about a millionaire, think about the things that they have to manage or control. At $1 million level, they probably own multiple businesses or invest in real estate or have multiple investments in different things like crypto and stocks and bonds and all kinds of stuff. They could be leading tons of different people. Maybe they have to lead 300 people, CEO of a large company, or making big, huge decisions. When you get to that level, it represents your ability to handle a large amount of energy. And what that means is you can handle a higher level of woman. So when a woman sees a guy walking down the street and he just oozes that sense of self-confidence and coming from money, I'm not talking about the obnoxious ones, the brats that grew up super rich and have no concept of it, no respect for it, and they're just bratty about throwing their stuff around. I'm talking about the man that walks down the street and you can just tell he's dressed sharply, takes a lot of pride in himself. You can tell he's got money, and you can tell he can handle it. That's what women are really attracted to because they know that he can handle her at her biggest, whatever that is. At her best, at her worst, doesn't matter, but at her biggest level of energy. And he can handle more energy as a whole. Yes, there's the materialistic side. Yes, there's definitely security and safety, but also he can handle a higher quality level woman. And when you start dating higher quality women, and this is an interesting story. I'm gonna like shoot off the side here. For me, like I said, I've been an international dating coach for a few years now, and from my own personal experience and from others, when you stop settling for those you only think you're good enough, and you finally get some self-worth, and you finally realize what you're actually worthy of. When you start dating higher quality women, you will see that they will quickly start to qualify you and see if you can handle them. See if you can handle energy at that level. See if you are capable of handling discomfort, of handling tension-filled situations without reacting and being able to stay in your grounded state as a man. They will test you, and the higher quality women will leave if you can't. And money is a reflection of this. If you can earn and keep $1 million, and walk around in that space, that means that you have the self-confidence, the self-worth, and the energy to manage that amount of responsibility, which means you can manage her. So you're pre-selected in a way for that. And so this is a real thing. This matters a ton because high-quality women, they can see this right away. They'll start to test you, and they'll want to understand quickly, can you handle me? Because those, I got to tell you, those high-quality women, the women that you've thought about going after, but thought maybe it's not for you, too scared, made up any excuses whatsoever, just didn't feel like you're good enough, it doesn't matter. When you start dating those high quality women, you'll see it's a little bit different. They will definitely test you. And I can speak from experience. My fiance is a very challenging woman in the best possible ways. And she actually helped me grow a ton because I went after exactly what I wanted. And I realized she was on a different level, and it quickly put me on a path to get her. And I had to grow a lot as a man and a lot around self-worth and a lot around managing energy in order to make her my fiance. And it's like the best thing I've ever done in my life. And so that is the real core reason Just to bring it all back, that's the real core reason of why men are really attracted to men with money, because they can handle a higher quality woman, they can handle more energy, and it shows that he can handle her. So do me a favor, if this was new to you, if this is not what you thought I was going to talk about, and you found this insightful and it started to get the wheels turning, then do me a favor, hit like and subscribe below, because I bet you the other content that I put out is going to be similar. Mind opening, give you tips and tricks on things you never thought about, and get you thinking in different ways about how the world works, about yourself. And the big thing that I teach other men is how to go from a self-identity of not good enough to I can conquer the world. And it's actually, I don't want to say it's not that hard, but there's a simpler way, and you can get there. You can change the course of your life in as little as 90 days, which is exactly what I've done. And now my mission is to share that with as many men as possible, because once I realized what life is like on the other side of confidence, I had to tell as many men as possible. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit like, check out the links below. And if this is really speaking to you, then just book a quick 15-minute call free with me. We'll chat, see if you're a good fit for some of the deeper programs that we've got going on. And I would love to talk to you. Cheers.